California Congressman Ed Royce chairs the House Foreign Affairs Committee and joins me now. Congressman, I don't know where to start with all of the crises around the world, but most imminently, the FAA is warning American Airlines not to fly to Israel, to Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport, because of the rocket that did land near the airport. A flight had to be diverted to France, and airlines have made their decision. There's no overarching around the world, and we saw what happened to Malaysia Airlines. Should airlines, and should there be more regulation, that airlines not go near hot zones? I could imagine a SAM in Syria, for instance, or an ISIS-controlled missile potentially putting airlines at risk.
Well, Andrea, here's the problem with what's developing. Unless we stop those two countries that are proliferating these missiles, Iran is providing these missiles to Hamas, right? And you have the missiles being provided to the separatists by Russia. Unless the international community comes together very quickly, it's going to occur to these terrorist organizations that, you know, they've shot down 12 planes now, the last one an airliner in eastern Ukraine. They can basically close down flights in and out of Kyiv if they keep this up, in and out of the airport, and carry out economic warfare and increase a travel embargo, basically. And Hamas can do the same thing to Israel. So the question is, will the international community now come together and find the will to do something to put enough pressure on the two regimes in the world that are proliferating these particular weapons, these kinds of long-range rockets that can hit planes, one of them being Iran and the other one being Russia.
What should we do about Russia? Vladimir Putin's people are saying that there was a Ukrainian Kiev military fighter jet in the area. They're pushing back against the American intelligence. We understand that the intelligence is finally going to be declassified as the U.S. tries to make its case. What can you tell us about that?
I can tell you that a month ago, General Breedlove, NATO commander, expressed his concern about the fact that Russian separatists were being sent into Russia and trained on the particular missile system that we're talking about, the SA-11. And we know that those missiles were provided by Russia, came over the border along with about 150 tanks and other pieces of heavy equipment, and then were pulled back after it was discovered that it had hit the jetliner. But my concern here is that the international community, and now we maybe have a chance, because the passions in Europe, as well as Malaysia, Australia, you know, Southeast Asia, worldwide, are now crystallizing to a point that we may force Putin on this one issue. Stop transferring missiles across borders and handing them to separatist or terrorist organizations. Let's focus on that, and let's also focus on Iran. Let's have the international community say, you want to see debilitating sanctions? We're not going to let you give to terrorist organizations the kinds of missiles that can close down airports or be aimed at planes. I think it's absolutely imperative.
Well, we'll see whether Vladimir Putin is paying any attention and whether Europe stands up to him. Thank you very much, Chairman Ed Royce.
Thank you, Andrea.
And which